Hello everyone, we are back with part 2 of the fall pilot season off for TV. If you missed our first one, and that would be what should you be watching that's new on TV right now, I will link that below for you. But this is going to be all the ones that didn't make the cut, or you're trying to figure out, oh, there's all these new and returning shows that are coming. You may not like all the shows I like. We're not expecting you to do that, but this is just kind of going to give you a glimpse into like what we watch and what we do when we have these kinds of shows. Okay, so just as a recommendations, that's all we're doing.
These are the ones that didn't quite make our cut.
Exactly. These ones did not make. The first one is Blackish. Basically, I didn't make more than 10 minutes into the show. It is about a higher class African American family who, in the first like 5 minutes, he basically claims that he's like this oddity. Like, there was this whole scene of people that are on like the tour bus in Beverly Hills, and they're like, oh look, it's a black family in a rich neighborhood, this never happens, you know. And at that point I was like, really? I don't know about this show. So I kind of turned it off.
I think a lot of people turned it off as soon as they saw the title.
Yeah. I actually saw some stuff on Facebook about how people were mad. They're like, I'm not watching this show if they're making fun of their own people. Like, this show is in poor taste. You know? So, no.
Yeah.
The second one is Welcome to Sweden. I really wanted to like this show. It was done by Amy Poehler, and we both love Parks and Rec a lot, and the person who stars in it, I believe, is her brother. So I was really like, I wanted to watch it, and then I got 10 minutes into it, and I just got bored. I got really, really bored. And right now,
what is it about?
Well, it's about this guy who falls in love with a girl who is Swedish, but she lived in America for a little while, but her parents still live in Sweden. So she gets a job back in Sweden, and he, because he loves her, follows her to Sweden and tries to get a job there, and they end up having to live with her parents.
Okay.
And that's as far as I got. I didn't think it was very funny. I thought it was kind of dry, and I don't know, I really wanted to like it. It's been on for a little while. I think there's like 9 or 10 episodes on Hulu right now, so I know I was a little behind the times, but I just couldn't get past the first episode, so I was like, okay.
Okay.
Next I have Utopia. Utopia is the reality TV show that it takes a bunch of people for a year, and I didn't even know it was going to be this long, but apparently they have to live for a year
in a self-raised society.
Yeah, and the part that I saw, they basically were all allowed to bring like a little crate of stuff that they said they can't live without, but they were only allowed to fill one large communal crate with the stuff that they had brought. So their first challenge, if you will, was
to figure out what stayed and what got.
Exactly. And at that point people broke. But at first people were like, I can live wherever, I don't need anything to survive, I just work off the land, or I need my Bible, and that's it. Whatever it was that they felt they needed, there was like one thing or nothing. And then you get to this point where they're fighting with each other, like, for stupid reasons, like, just spout. And I was like, I do not want to watch the show. They are definitely dramatizing this.
It's a lot like Discovery's The Colony, except with drama queens.
I think that is exact. They chose, like they do on Real World, or you know, something like that, where they pick people they know are going to set each other off just to do it. Now, we watched The Quest, which is a reality role-playing TV show.
Good show.
Amazing, and with the cliffhanger that it had at the end of the first season, I'm really hoping they bring it back, because it seems like it could go again. That is the kind of reality show I can get behind. People who are doing that. This, however, I mean, and I watch my fair share of reality shows, as you're going to see when we go through our list. I like reality shows to a certain extent, but this was just, I couldn't stand the fighting. Couldn't do it. Didn't like it.
That's not my style of show. I love The Colony, but it doesn't seem like the Utopia is really going to have any of the things that I liked from Colony.
Exactly. Okay, there are 2 other shows that I have seen bits and pieces of them. One is called Mulaney, and the other is called The McCarthys. Just in the trailer, and maybe I'm not giving it a fair shot, But just in the trailer, I really had no interest in seeing these. I honestly, when I can't tell you what the show is going to be about by watching the trailer, I have an issue.
Yeah.
The trailer should tell me what the show is about, and I couldn't figure it out. So I'm not even going to give him a fair shot. I'm really sorry. But if one of you watches one of those shows, either the McCarthys or Mulaney, and you liked it, tell me down below and tell me what it's about, and maybe I'll go back and give it a chance. But right now,
She's open-minded about this.
I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it at all.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that didn't make the cut so far. We do have some that are still coming soon that we will be probably reviewing next week or the week after. And that is, there's a show on ABC called Cristela. It is, I'm guessing it's like one of those like telenovela based shows, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to give that one a chance. There's one on NBC called Bad Judge. I feel like it's about a bad judge.
It's like Judge Judy on a rampage?
I guess so. This coming Thursday, obviously this will be put up on YouTube maybe after this is aired, but Grace Point, which is David Tennant from Doctor Who, a show on BBC, which I was going to try to watch, and now I don't even remember what it's called. It's just totally going off the top of my head. I can't remember. This is the remake, which he's in again, called Grace Point. It's more like a mini-series. It's not going to be like a full-on series, I don't think. Broadchurch? I want to say it was Broadchurch was the name of the series that he was originally in, that this is based on. And so that's what it is as far as new shows. Let's talk about us, shall we? Although a lot of times people are like, should I watch this? What is going to be eliminated because my DVR can't hold or record all this stuff that I want to watch? Okay? So here's our tips on how to do it. I'm going to take you night by night and tell you what you should be watching. At this point, I'm also going to put it out there. If there's a show you feel like I should be watching, even if it's not a new show, you know what to do. Okay, Mondays. Let's just start with Mondays. The only show that I watch on Monday nights is The Blacklist. Comes on at 10 o'clock. Fairly easy for your DVR. I'm going to also say, I know Castle comes on Monday nights, but I just started watching Castle, so I'm not all the way up to that point yet. It's on Hulu and Netflix, so we're going to kind of get through that. So that's not my worry, but I'm telling you, Castle is on my list. So, yeah. Tuesday is a hard night, let me tell you. At 8 o'clock, there are two shows. Selfie, which we talked about in our other video, and The Flash, which is also coming up, and we haven't talked about it yet, but those are both on at 8 o'clock. So guess what? If your DVR tapes two things, there's your two things. At 8:30 is Manhattan Love Story. Also, this one is one we haven't talked about yet. It is coming on, and I will be watching it. I'm kind of weird about this one, too, because the girl, I always go by who the girl is, okay? The girl in this one is she was on America's Next Top Model, like, years ago. And so for me, like, something that I kind of watched before as a model, and to have her really branch out and be an actress, it's kind of cool. So her. And then if you guys ever watch that show Greek, I ended up watching it on Netflix one day. That took me more than a day to get through Greek, okay? I kind of liked it. It was one of those kind of easygoing shows, but there's a guy who's in that show who's in this show. And the premise of the show is that they talk to each other, like they start this dating relationship, but you can hear what they're thinking at the same time. So like they'll say one thing like, hey, I really like those flowers, and then in her head she'll be like, oh, those are really lame flowers. You know, so it's kind of like that kind of thing. I don't really know how I'm going to feel about this one way or another, but I'll tell you later. Tuesdays at 9 o'clock, we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Amazing show, right?
Yes, this writing team knows what they're doing. And
if you haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but you've seen all those other DC, you need to watch Marvel. Oh my gosh.
Excuse me while I go get Thor's hammer.
So if you've seen the other Marvel movies, you gotta watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, New Girl comes on at the same time. So that's two for you to DVR right there. 9:30 is Mindy Project. I love Mindy Project. I believe this season is really great because she's finally together with Danny, and if you guys don't watch that show, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. But this cast is so funny. Yeah. And if you guys remember Forever, we talked about that in our last video as well. That's on at 10 o'clock if you want to watch it. Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Hell's Kitchen, which I still watch and is actually kind of nearing the end, so it won't be a problem. And Mysteries of Laura, which we also talked about. You can watch that at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. At 9 o'clock is Modern Family. If you guys watch that one, horrendously funny. Not in a bad way, just funny. You don't really like that show, do you?
I'm kind of iffy on it.
Okay. I like comedy, so...
I can see why people
funny.
like it. I can definitely give it that. Some of these shows I really like whoever thought that this was good. But this is one I can understand some people do like it. It's just not my flavor.
And then if you want to watch Red Band Society, like we talked about before, also on at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays. Thursday, 9 o'clock, we have Scandal. Amazing.
Corey loves this show.
Corey does love this show. It's because I got him into it, right?
Yes, it's all your fault.
And Grace Point, which is starting on Thursdays, but will only be for a limited time. And somewhere in there, I believe Parks and Rec is going to be, but it hasn't come back yet, and we really love that show too. At 9:30 is going to be A to Z on Thursday nights, if we continue watching that show. And at 10 o'clock, How to Get Away with Murder. Amazing show.
That's a really good show.
Friday, America's Next Top Model. I like watching it. I watched every single season. It's just one of those things.
Here's the plot. They look pretty.
Yeah. Also, MasterChef Junior will be coming back, I believe, in November. I love MasterChef for sure. But the Junior one is, like, I believe, so much better because these kids cooking, you're just like,
they have a lot of personality.
They really do. They really do.
It's good.
And then Gotham, which has been showing on Mondays usually, will be moving to Fridays at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Sundays. I skipped Saturday. I don't really know what's on Saturday. Except for Doctor Who.
And Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. Doctor Who is Saturday.
Doctor Who is Saturday.
I forgot. Sunday at 8 o'clock we have Once Upon a Time. Just started and we haven't seen the episode yet, but we're watching it tonight.
We're watching it tonight.
We are. Also, Walking Dead is going to be on Sunday nights. That starts in a couple weeks. So excited. So excited. And
this is a big show night for us.
Also, ABC Revenge. Revenge is on there. He doesn't really care about Revenge either. That's like a me show. I just like it. It used to be really like twisty and like cliffhangery. It's kind of starting to wind itself out now, I think, but I'm just kind of there because I want to see how it ends finally. And I don't know if it's going to after this season. It might. I don't know. So anyway, that is what you have as far as shows for you to watch and not watch, and how you're going to program your DVR maybe if you're weird like us. I know I only went through shows from like ABC, NBC, Fox, and CW. I didn't hit any CBS shows because I haven't seen them yet. But if there's any shows you should... What?
They aren't team players.
No team players. I keep saying that, sorry. Again, if there's any shows you think I should be watching, or shows on other channels that maybe I am not watching, or like maybe Netflix exclusive, Amazon Prime exclusive, Hulu exclusive, any of those. Also, what are they? Tell me. I want to know. All right?
Right here.
That's where it is. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.
We will. See you later, folks.